The NFL did not want the largest point spread of the week to be the season opener. I know people are going to watch no matter what, but I've got to think that Goodell was kind of pissed at what happened, because now, look, people are going to watch, but it loses a little bit of it. The conversation turns to, is this a blowout? Is this a survivor play because they're the biggest favorite, even though it's a divisional matchup that we get to start the season between the Eagles and Cowboys tonight? We're sitting still 8.5, correct?
Yeah, 8.5s are starting to come down, though. So what the
Yes.
books were doing, they were trying to push it as far as they could to see how much it would take to get some buyback. And we discussed yesterday there were some 9s in the market. The 9s are all gone. I don't see a single 9 on my screen. And now the 8.5s are becoming minus 105 to lay the favorite. So your 8.5 dog is now minus 115. 8.5 always felt like it was a little high, which I actually just told Chelsea and Jenks during crosstalk. I said, that feels a little bit big at 8.5. Now, that's not to say that I'm in love with this Dallas side, but this number in the summer was 6.5, and maybe the occasional 7 scattered across the board. Then Parsons gets traded, and we go to 7 everywhere and a couple 7.5s late last week. Suddenly, Monday, Tuesday, we're 8, 8.5, 9, and nothing changed. Nothing really changed. Now, Ed Salmons at the Westgate was saying that it's a lot to do with teasers, because people had a really good run last year, especially in Vegas, making those 6-point teasers, teasing favorites down. I don't think we chronicled enough last year how great the favorites did ATS in the NFL. Well, if they were covering the number, they were certainly covering the teaser number when you move that 6 points down. So it finally felt like early this morning, you got that game day push. Limits are high. The 9s are gone. The 8.5s are coming back. I think this is going to close 8. Philly minus 8. That's my best guess.
Okay. So I think you're right that the market did kind of settle down. We were looking at a handful of 9s throughout the show yesterday, and that is coming back a little bit. But offshore, there are a couple of 9s at this moment. If you are interested in taking +9, I've talked a lot about how I expect Dak to have a big season. Statistically, that was before all the Parsons stuff, but that's not going to impact things tonight. I like the way Dak bounces back after injuries. I will say that in the last few season openers, he has come out of the gates very slow. Each of the last 3 years, he's thrown for well under 200 passing yards. So you wonder if he's going to have it coming out of the gates here. A new weapon in Pickens. That's going to be fun to watch. The Cowboys are going to be an over team. I'm just not sure they're going to be an over team in week number 1.
There's a lot of questions I have about Dallas's defense. Obviously, hot take. Micah Parsons is gone. Can they get off the field on 3rd and manageable? When it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, can they get the stops? I don't know that answer yet. And anybody saying they do is lying, because for years they've had number 11, their superstar edge guy, who can do basically anything and line up anywhere. I'm inclined to think that they're going to struggle with that. I also think Dak might throw the ball 45 times today.
Mm-hmm.
So those two things sort of line up toward an over. I don't really get too crazy, though, with these week 1 total bets, because there are a lot of question marks that I have. But you do notice now we're at 47.5 and 48. We have crossed through a very key 47 number. And that's money. It's money that has driven that through. So, look, at 47, I thought it was a decent bet. At 47.5, 48, I just don't like it as much. So the total's a pass for me. But those are the things I'll be watching for. I'll be very curious to see if the Dallas defense on 3rd and 5 can get off the field. If they can't, this is probably a game where we see Philly control the rock and have the time of possession in their favor, like 38-22. It's very possible, because if Dallas can't get off the field, Philly's going to lean on their bread and butter. Offensive line, run the ball. And if that's the case, we're talking about an under. But look, there's a lot of things I want to see tonight. Believe it or not, I am not loaded to the gills on Thursday Night Football. I haven't even made a bet yet on the game. Now, we'll get there by the end of the show. But to think that I'm just like guns blazing day one, game one, ain't happening.
The Saquon number, 93.5 rushing yards, Sam. $1.85 for an anytime touchdown. We know the public's going to bet on Saquon. Are you considering anything with him?
No, I'm not. If I was looking at any props tonight, I would look at the Dak number for attempts because I do think I threw out 45 as a possibility. Now the number's 36.5, so I'm being a little dramatic given the fact that the market is hanging steady at 36.5, but that feels a little light. And if you go to your touchdown market, look at the market for first touchdown scorer. Look at the top 8 guys. A lot of Eagles on there, Joe.
Yeah.
A lot of Eagles on there.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you're willing to take a Cowboy that you like, especially down the board, big old prices on Dallas guys to score the first touchdown of the game.
Okay. Let me take a look because there is a Cowboy I like in the prop market. I was not thinking touchdown. I was thinking yardage. But now out of curiosity, I've got to take a look. See, look at what you're doing to me. First touchdown, we've got 19-1. Jake Ferguson.
Ooh, didn't take much. All you had to do was look.
19-1. That's the guy that I'm taking a look at tonight. 33.5 receiving yards. I like that. Eagles gave up the 7th most receiving yards to the tight end position. I think Dak's going to end up looking for him. If it's a blowout game, he's still probably going to rack up that yardage over the middle of the field throughout the game. So I think that's an interesting prop. I was looking at Lamb is low 70s, 71 in the hook. Pickens, low number. Don't know what to expect. First game on the team, 53.5 for him. But I kind of gravitated towards Ferguson as far as that goes.
Dak first touchdown is 50-1.
Okay.